I want you all to listen to something, and then I want you to be honest with yourself and ask yourself an honest question. Does this honestly make any sense whatsoever? Let's take a listen to what Becky Patty has to say in this interview with Web Sleuths from 3 years ago before I make my point.
And it was a little later. It was after, it was probably 1 o'clock or so. Kelsey came out and said, "Hey, Grandma, I'm going to stop by Bree and Chase's. Chase was her boyfriend, and Bree was her best friend. I'm going to their house for a little bit before I have to go to work."
Okay.
Well, Libby heard that, and she jumped right up and said, "Hey, will you take us to High Bridge?" And she said, "Well, I guess." So Libby asked me and said, "Grandma, can we go?" And I said, "Well, I don't have time right now. I've got to get these reports finished.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody will bring you home, then you can go."
So, according to Becky Patty, the decision for Abigail Williams and Liberty German to go to the Monon High Bridge that day didn't actually occur until 1 o'clock p.m. approximately. 1 o'clock was when it was set in stone that Kelsey German was going to give these girls a ride to Monon High Bridge. We know from the photographs that were posted on social media by Abby and Libby at 2:07 p.m. they were on the middle of the Monon High Bridge. Richard Allen's defense team has alleged Odinists committed this crime and has named in the Franks memorandum 5 different people as allegedly being involved in an Odinistic sacrifice in broad daylight. Johnny Messer, Brad Holder, Elvis Fields, Patrick Westfall, and Rod Abrams. Now, let me make it abundantly clear. I am not accusing any of those 5 individuals of anything. In fact, this video is purporting the exact opposite and calling out the defense team. You mean to tell me that any human being with common sense is supposed to believe that between 1 o'clock p.m. all 5 of those individuals not only somehow found out when it wasn't even known these girls were going to the bridge until 1 p.m. that day, that they somehow found out magically that decision was made, that they all decided to conspire, all 5 of them somehow either individually or collectively found their way to the trails that day within roughly an hour's time, somehow gathered without being seen on the Hoosier Harbor Store camera, somehow weren't seen by the multiple girls walking away from the Monon High Bridge that claimed to have encountered someone matching Alan's description. And these people also weren't seen by Flannel Shirt Guy, who was there at roughly 3 p.m., or seen by Derek German, who showed up shortly after 3 p.m. also to pick the girls up. And not only that all 5 of those people somehow magically, without being seen, managed to create a ritual sacrifice, which is what the defense alleged happened, kill the girls without any screams, without anyone seeing them, and when they exited the area, not one person, not one eyewitness, not one camera saw these 5 individuals leaving the crime scene. And I'm supposed to believe that in broad daylight, in the middle of February, all 5 of these people somehow, within an hour's time, found out these girls were going to be there, raced to collectively show up there and committed this crime. And then some of you have the nerve to wonder why prosecutors didn't finish investigating this avenue. Probably because they all knew it was a complete bunch of bull crap. I ask you all, Does it sound even remotely possible like that could actually happen when the girls didn't even know they were going to Monon High Bridge for sure until 1 o'clock p.m. that day? That those 5 individuals, just in the middle of a weekday, could just gather together that quickly to create a ritual sacrifice? Come on, people. What are we doing here? So many of you continue to believe this theory. And again, I'm not accusing Richard Allen in this video. He's innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, and he will get that day in court. But what I am doing is seriously questioning why there are still so many people out there that say they're certain that this Odinist theory holds water. Because when you listen to the facts and listen to common sense and think about what would have had to have occurred within less than an hour's time for that to happen, it's just not plausible. And anybody with a single brain cell in their head knows that it's not plausible. Thanks for watching, everyone.